So today is day 6, I believe, of Mental Health Week. I'm sure you're all very sick and tired of seeing me talking about mental illness, but that's what this week's about. Today's topic is about what recovery means to me personally. When I saw this question and when I saw that that's what I was going to be talking about today, I was kind of like, oh, I personally don't like the word recovery. I just really don't like it. I feel like it feels too final. I feel like it feels like a lot of pressure. When you decide to recover, it's a massive thing, and I just don't like that word. I know that you can be somebody that does like that word, and and I know a lot of mental health YouTubers, they really, recovery is a big thing, but to me, I just don't like that word. I feel like it puts a lot of pressure on me. If I decide, okay, I'm going to recover, it's kind of like, oh, you can never go back and you have to put in all this work, and it's really hard, and it puts a lot of pressure on people, and I just don't like that word. But I like what it stands for, I just don't like the word, and I don't know if that's me just being really pernickety and like annoying, but I just really don't like that word. So I've not really made much of like a planned video today because I don't know, it's really hard because I know people that use the word recovery, they're not saying it from a bad point of view, they're not saying it to be mean, to make people feel pressured, but I just feel very pressured by it, and I don't know if that's me being silly or if anybody else feels the same way. But recovery, when I think of recovery though, when I think of the actual, besides the word, when I think of recovery, I think of somebody trying to do their best, and that's what I think of. That is the most important thing when you're suffering mental illness, is that you are trying your best. It doesn't matter how far you get, it doesn't matter if you go back 60 steps. That doesn't matter. If you're trying your best, that is really the only thing that matters, and I can't really say much more than that. I think you need to be in a specific place, and you need to be ready to start recovery. I know for a long time I was in this really dark place, and I was really unwell with mental illness, but I knew when there was just a day when I knew that I was ready to start recovering. There was a day when I knew, okay, I'm going to try and go outside today. I didn't feel any better than the other days. I didn't feel like I was more well, but I felt like, okay, today's the day I'm going to start going outside. And today's the day I'm going to go to the doctor, and the rest of that. Today's the day I'm going to start volunteering. It's all about you. And maybe it's just because I got sick of being inside all the time, and maybe it's nothing to do with my mental state, but I just think you need to be at the point when you know, okay, today I'm going to do it. And to not let anybody else tell you when your day is. You will get a lot of pressure from other people, your family, your friends, people saying, well, you've done it before, so you can do it again. People saying things that they don't realise actually makes a negative effect on you, but it's all about you, and it's all about when you're ready. And I think that's really important to remember. Although I don't like the word recovery, I would consider myself in recovery right now, which is kind of strange, but I am doing better than I was, which I suppose is me being in recovery. I wouldn't say I'm better, so I'm not recovered, but I'm in recovery. But the only reason that I am in recovery, and the only reason that I'm getting better, is because I let myself tell myself when I was ready to get better, and I let myself lead the way, and that's really important. You have to let yourself lead the way. Nobody else, no doctor, nobody can tell you when to start and when to end. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but one of my family members once said to me, you need to be better by next spring, let's make that your target. And I was like, what? You wouldn't say that to anybody else that had a physical health problem. You wouldn't say, okay, right, I get it, you're ill, but come on, pull yourself together, by next spring you've got to be better, because... And it's just like, you just wouldn't say that to somebody with a physical illness, and it really annoys me. Like, I think you can tell if you're in recovery. I'm pretty sure I've seen people talk about the fact that they don't know whether they're in recovery or not, but I think if you know that you're trying more than you tried before, and if you're not even if you're getting better every day, but if you're trying every single day, then you are in recovery. Even if that means you're still self-harming, even if that means you are still really struggling with things and just not in a good place, if you are trying, you're in recovery and you're doing really well. And I think recovery, it just has too much pressure. The word has too much pressure, and I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody by saying that, but and if recovery and the word recovery works for you and it makes you feel good, then that's absolutely fantastic, and I really don't want you to stop using that word. But to me, it's just too much pressure behind the word. I feel like it makes it more like, oh, you're in recovery, like you can recover now. I just don't think it's as easy as that. I just don't think it's as simple as that, and I don't want to be negative, and I don't want to put other people down, and I really don't want to offend anybody by saying all this. So I'm sorry if this video wasn't exactly the idea for today, and I'm sorry if this wasn't a great video, but I just wanted you to know that if there's ever a word in in your mental health kind of vocabulary that you don't like and makes you feel not as good, then try a different word. I actually had this with another word before, and I think it was the word anxious. I think I just really didn't like that word and it made me feel not good. And I remember talking to one of my dad's friends, who's a psychotherapist, and he said, do you feel safe in that environment? And he said that instead of saying anxious, and I said, oh yeah, I don't feel safe in that environment, and that makes me feel so much better. The word safe makes me feel better than anxious, and maybe there's no psychological reasoning behind it, maybe it's just stupid that I'm saying it, but it made me feel a lot better. And I don't know if this makes any sense, or if this video actually should go up, but I'm going to put it up anyway. And if anybody else feels the same way, or I don't know, please just tell me your opinions down below, because I'd really like to know. I'm just telling you how I feel. Maybe somebody else feels the same way. I don't know if you do or not, but please let me know how you feel down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!